Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, and we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. Yes, Bitcoin on the 4-hour, we are basically populating price action in our upper quartile. We had a nice back test of the mid range of our wider range, and yeah, we're back actually taking out the highs from the initial move up. And yeah, holding very nicely in this higher range. So yeah, things are looking good. It does look like Bitcoin does want to try and at least have a go at taking out this resistance, even if it will be a wick above, a wick into it, and then we get slammed back down. Who knows? But yeah, it is looking good for a move in there. We do have some TD sequential 9s coming in as well. We've got the 12-hour one coming in the next candle, I believe, if it just wants to actually load. But yeah, TD 12-hour 9 coming in, and then we also have the daily of which we bounced on the daily 9. We are now sat here on a daily 9 sell 9. We bounced on the daily buy 9. And then yeah, we now find ourselves on a daily sell 9. So I mean, all of these TDs 12-hour daily coming in after such a large move at our major level of resistance, it does indicate that we've got a good chance of at least some sideways. So sideways, maybe even down. But yeah, you could say the momentum this move has, all the 9s are going to do is kind of stop us in our tracks for a 1 to 4 candle correction, either sideways or down. So yeah, maybe we do just trade sideways a little bit here. Maybe we do test some downside. So yeah, I mean, if we do look at this, I know on the 4-hour we do know we can see we came back and tested the midpoint, but on the daily you can see we've not actually come back and tested the midpoint of this wider range. So there is the potential, obviously, for us to come back down towards 36,000 over the next 1 to 4 days. But I would probably have a bias, all being well, there's no external influencers to us just trading sideways within this pretty much 38,000 to well, just this resistance area, and then well, having a go at breaking through. To be honest, I mean, that's what could be going on here. And like I said, I do feel like that even if we are going to remain in this range, I do think we've got a good chance of testing deep into the 40,000s, maybe even up to our next level, maybe even like a daily or a 2-day wick basis, and then we do then find our way back, back below this. Well, to be honest, it's 41,000 rather than 40. I mean, the range is basically 41 to 42,000. We could find ourselves back below 41,000. And then still continue to trade within our wider range. So lots of options here on the table for price action. So yeah, so I've got a bit of a cold still. So yeah, we should see how we should all see how that goes. Ethereum, also the Ethereum Satoshi pairing is still looking weak because as we know, Bitcoin is threatening to make that move out of our wider range, at which case we know that altcoins aren't going to be able to keep up, and then also Bitcoin dominance as well, obviously looking strong, just off the back of the same threats in Bitcoin to make a nice move. USD pairing though, not looking as bad. I mean, looking like a potential bull flag here. I mean, this will obviously follow the USD value. It's just a case of with the Satoshi pairing, the USD value of Bitcoin. It just obviously depends with the Satoshi pairing how much it does follow it. But yeah, it is looking like a bull flag. It is looking good if it can basically take out this horizontal, that we can find our way back up towards that $3,000 level. Stocks also just trading sideways pretty much above our support level. So eventually this may get lift off. DXY obviously didn't particularly like there wasn't too much of a market reaction to Jerome Powell yesterday, but obviously this is looking good for us risk asset bulls. You can see the dollar, at least it didn't have a big spike up. I believe this was about the last time that he spoke. And did push obviously this up quite considerably, but yeah, now looking like we are breaking down some important levels. We obviously know we lost the trend line. We are now losing this horizontal, so I think we could early days, but I think we could have now reversed this well, medium term upward move, and yeah, be looking to make a downward move. We obviously didn't take out this high, which is good. Which is good to see we didn't take that high and get any acceleration. So yeah, I mean, we have taken this level out. After taking out this next level, I think the only way is down, with us probably taking out this low here and then even more downside. So yeah, we have got good things on the cards here, because if this does happen, we do move down, we do take this out, we are going to see I believe nothing is certain, but I believe we're going to see considerably higher Bitcoin prices. And I also think that this potential reversal in this trend now will in part be helping Bitcoin with its current bullish movements, because yeah, people will be eyeing up basically all-time highs and beyond in Bitcoin, if we do find ourselves making lows relative to these levels in the dollar. We might as well just put in our major level of support in here. Let's extend this along, and then extend this along. And then we could pretty much call this the area that we lose this, and then things are going to get, am I on it? Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah, and then things are going to start to look pretty good for risk assets basically. We should be on our way to the moon. So yeah, obviously a long way to go, and there's no real reason why we can't just trade sideways within this range. But I mean, that still would indicate we find ourselves down here, first and foremost, even if we don't break it, and that itself is going to be pretty good for it's going to be pretty good for Bitcoin. Let's just straighten this box up a little bit. There we go. That will do. What else do we want to look at on here? Yeah, not too much to us look at here. I mean, the 10-year yield is obviously in this decline. It does pretty much need to stabilize and stop moving down. And yeah, I mean, even if it just trades sideways within this range it's in now, we just need kind of stability. We just need this to not be a thing people really look at, because then when it does start to move either up or down, people then start to make basically well, pretty much they make bearish arguments either way. And then obviously if we trade sideways, then they tend to just ignore it. So yeah, if we can trade sideways, even if it is sideways now, if we just extend this along between where this horizontal here and this horizontal here, I mean, I think yeah, then that would be good. But I mean, we just got to keep an eye on this. We just want this basically to trade sideways. We just want this to be not something that is drawing people's eye to it, because then they then start to have to make reasons for its moves, and they tend to just be bearish reasons, either up or down, that people will come up with. Either down, they just down in the yield, then they start to worry about deflation. Up in the yield, they start to worry about inflation. So obviously sideways, and they don't worry about anything then. So yeah, there we go. Let's finally have a look at stochastics, because I think this is what is going to pull us through and send us into send us above 40,000 and hold us up there and get us an overall bullish trend, these higher time frame ones. So I mean whilst we look at the 4 hour first, 4 hour, yeah, look like it can have a bit of downside here. So but again, we can potentially have 1 to 4 days of sideways to down anyway, so that would not be a problem. 10 hour, we'll just wait for the 10 hour to load up. Yeah, 10 hour still pointing up and looking good here. 12 hour looking to try and turn back up as well. Daily, looking to turn over here. It's still pointing up, but looking to turn over. So yeah, like I said, we could still trade, even if we trade up to 41, 42,000, and still just trade sideways around there. between 38 and 41 to 42, then yeah, that will still be fine for a few days. But these are the ones, these are the big guns. 2-day looking very good, 3-day looking good, 5-day obviously still low level, but just a lot of room to run. So there's the potential there. Weekly, same, similar. And then bi-weekly and monthly, waiting for those to feed through. But if straight when those feed through, yeah, things, I mean, it's gonna look very good. Basically, it is gonna look like this was overall, if we just go back to the overall chart, was a BTFD. Unless obviously people just think buy the dip is easy. And yeah, we had this big 50% pullback, and then if we do continue, basically take out these highs, go to 150k, people will say it was so obvious. Buy the dip, it was so obvious. But we've all been here the past few days, the past few weeks, and we've known how dicey it's been, how the sentiment is, how people have actually been targeting low 20,000s, etc. How bearish the market sentiment has basically been, and that's obviously why it never is when it is the time to potentially buy the dip. If this is the buy the dip, it's never as easy as you think in the actual time. Just to sell in the top, it's like people are ultra bullish here, thinking we're going up and then they don't sell, because it's not easy to sell the highs either. Even though you got quite a few highs on pretty obvious 4-hour 9s here as well, as you can see. But yeah, pretty obvious highs. Not obvious highs, sorry, but like relatively similar high levels to sell. But yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. I'm not saying that we are just going to catapult up to 150k Bitcoin, but in hindsight, if we do, then all the hindsight traders are going to be saying, well, this was so obvious, we just filled our boots at 30. I mean, they're probably even going to say they'll buy under 30k, bought under 30k. Bear in mind, it traded there very briefly on 3 occasions. But yeah, they're going to say, yeah, we all bought at 30k, it was so obvious, and then we just go onwards and upwards. But it is never. But my point is, it's just never obvious at the time, and you just worry that we are going to break down further, basically, which clearly it was a clear concern, and we still not taking out this level. We still could basically come back and have another sweep at these lows, and then we could lose these lows. Who knows? But I mean, the DXY looking to potentially turn around now. I think it's going to be all the confidence we need to, well, like I keep saying, at least hold 30,000. But yeah, potentially even take us through and onwards to new highs. And I do think if we do accelerate into this zone, unless, and there is obviously the threat of a bull trap, but whilst the DXY will still be looking good, stroke okay, stock market still looking good, I struggle to see that Bitcoin just won't pull through any potential bull trap here, even if it pulls us back down to sub 40 briefly. I don't see how we won't pull through and just go on to bigger and better things. Basically, I think this asset, like everything, is just is in its crack up boom. It's just gonna everything, all assets, all risk assets, everything is going up. Everything is basically going up, and I think, yeah, this will continue. Everything's going to continue to go up until it doesn't, and then when it doesn't, I think we'll have bigger things to worry about. Liquidity will be key then, and yeah, we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.